Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! Alright, welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I'm Isaac, and with me as always is my fearless co-host Larry. How are you doing this
At
week,
least
Larry?
with all these bad movies you watch, Isaac, at least in every one of them, there's always like one little bright spot that like drags them all up. And I'm glad that your movie, at least, you know, as much as I hate you and want you to suffer, your movie at least had The Rock to help you, because I know how much you love The Rock. I kind of hate him, and I'm glad you had The Rock to help bring you back up and be a rock for you.
Larry, I hate to break this to you, and it hurts me, because I just saw a TikTok today of The Rock recording his parts from Moana, where he was singing, and it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah,
he's good in that role. Unfortunately, The Rock, who starred in 2005, the movie Doom that originally came out, he does not grace the sequel that came out in 2019, 14 years later.
Wait, hold on. Stop recording. Wait.
Yeah. No.
You had to watch this without The Rock? Oh,
there was no
Isaac,
Rock.
I feel so bad for you. Oh, I do.
You do, huh? I'm gonna fucking slap the cocks out of your mouth.
You'll have to slap me so many times, like I'm a bad little boy.
God damn. You son of a bitch. This was the, like, because I saw Doom, which starred The Rock, came out in 2005, was trash. And I've watched a lot of trash movies. I watched, 32 trash movies
just for this
podcast?
Yeah.
This, I think, is the most nothing garbage dumpster fire of a movie, where it's just it's like Truman Capote jizzing on rye toast.
Isn't that where avocado toast came from? Isn't that how he got the idea?
Yeah, millennials like their Truman Capote and Cold Blood, whatever. I don't know. It's hip, I guess. Avocados are expensive. Millennials are mortgaged up to their eyeballs. I don't know how the economy works.
Either.
I'm confused.
Like,
I'm gonna invest.
You can invest your $600 we're getting from the United States government.
Man, I bought Bitcoin when it was $6,000, and then it went up to $9,000, and I was like, shit, I better sell. And today, Bitcoin hit $30,000. I hate investing.
Two of my best friends started investing in coins, like Bitcoin and whatnot. Cryptocurrency. And the one has turned 1.5 thousand into 9,000, and the other one, I don't know how much he has, but it's a lot more than that because he started a lot sooner. And I'm getting $600 from the government. Yeah. And I bought $40 worth of food today.
Oh my god. Investing is a train wreck. The economy. Poor
Welcome
people.
to Money Talk,
doomed.
our new podcast for the Bowels of Netflix Network.
Speaking of Doom, this movie is Doom Annihilation. It came out in 2019.
Did we introduce ourselves? I genuinely don't remember.
It doesn't run...
Did we introduce ourselves? I genuinely don't remember.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, we didn't. I did. God. We are the Bowels of Netflix. Two old friends hate each other dearly. Every week we force each other to watch the worst movie we could possibly find on Netflix. You can find us on the internet. We live on Twitter. We live on Facebook. We're the only Bowels of Netflix in your life. If you have a different one, we're going to beat you fucking senseless, and we're going to kill your goddamn boyfriend, because we are a one-person lover. Please send us an email, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Hide your grandmother's medication until she listens to the show. Rate and subscribe. Leave a 5-star review. If you leave a 4-star review, we're going to skin you alive.
Yeah, also send us an email telling us where your boyfriend lives, fears, weaknesses, etc.
Especially fears, yeah. We'll do a whole thing where we creep into his nightmares.
7 days.
Yeah,
I was hoping you would catch that and mix two horror movie references together and call me out on it, but you didn't, because as usual, you're a failure.
I don't know. Saw.
I haven't seen either of the movies I
Saw.
referenced. You're right.
Shut up with your references. Yeah, no. Shut the fuck up.
We know whose thumb is more on the pulse of pop culture in this show, don't we? I can't believe that it's me.
Your thumb is in the anus of the Komodo dragon of pop culture, which is just Shia LaBeouf.
I'm okay. I'm surprisingly okay with that.
I bet his anus would feel really nice around my thumb.
Yeah, is that? Do you just judge that based on appearances? You're in the mall, you're sitting there, and people walking by like, oh yeah, his or her ass would feel good around my thumb.
Yeah, I gotta stop. That's why I wear a muzzle when I go in public, because of the lawsuits.
Jesus Christ. This is horrible. Just talk about Doom.
So, Doom Annihilation came out in 2019, does not star Dwayne The Rock Johnson, does not star anybody.
Oh, man, I really thought, I want to make guys except for, but he'll have The Rock. He likes The Rock. Somebody has to.
No. The Rock's okay, but he's not in this movie. And Meryl Streep, she auditioned for a role, but she did not get it, unfortunately.
I don't think those words have ever been spoken.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah, she's a goddess. The movie is 96 minutes long. We don't have any financials because it's a direct to fucking whatever release. And so they've been trying to pitch a Doom sequel for a while. And I'm trying to remember. There was some video game company, I think it might have been Bethesda, who did another Doom release in 2016.
Bethesda, not Activision?
Maybe. So, but there was another version of the Doom video game that came out.
For an hour, and I don't remember who the hell made it.
This movie is trying to capitalize on the success of the 2016 Doom video game, which, Doom obviously was a revolutionary video game in the early 90s, completely changed video games and third-person shooter and how that functions. But no one gives a fuck about Doom anymore. It's a relic of history.
I mean, the 2016 game was very well received, and it was good, apparently. But no one cares enough about a fucking Doom movie. Does not belong. No, there's no interesting lore to turn into.
The 2016 Doom game was not a groundbreaking game like the.
No, it was a goddamn first-person shooter that was above average.
Yeah, it is a fine game, I'm sure, but it's not at the forefront of
the
cultural
original Doom
relevance.
Changed everything. This Doom was they made a couple million.
Yes. Early 90s LAN parties and all that kind of stuff like that.
This has been Video Game Corner from your Video Game Boys.
Oh my god. So, IMDb, it's got a 3.6.
Low.
Which is low for IMDb. Yeah, IMDb usually, sits nice around between a 4.5 and a 5.5. Unfortunately, not for this. Okay, and this is a weird one. It was only reviewed by 7 critics. And I don't know who those critics are, but the Rotten Tomato critic score is 43%, which is actually not it's not good, but that's better than we usually get for the Rotten Tomato critic score.
Yeah, that's not terrible. I mean, for Bowser Netflix, that's not terrible at all. That's like a B-.
Now, let me give you the Rotten Tomato audience score, which usually is well above the critic score. It's a 16%. It's 30 points lower than the critics.
That is very interesting and slightly terrifying.
There were some critics who were paid in sweet Colombian cocaine to review this movie.
Start 2021 off right with some fucking cocaine, baby. 100 subscribers by February. I'll do a line live on air.
I will. What can I mail you? Can I mail a fart?
Can you mail a cart? Oh.
A fart. Can I fart in an envelope and mail it to you, and when you open it, it'll still be stinky?
There's a solid
That's the
chance
question.
It still smells.
I mean, I could just mail a turd.
Well, if you can mail a hot dog, you can mail a turd.
Clearly. They're not very different as far as the FDA is concerned.
No, they actually aren't. Fuck.
All right, okay, we're 10 minutes in. Let's get into this fucking movie. Jesus. We see some generic shots in between opening credits of spaceships and scientists doing scientist and spaceship stuff.
As they do.
Turns out the scientists are trying to bring some dude back through the weird space jelly portal. This will feature prominently throughout the movie. It oozes like jelly.
All right.
If you put a jar of jelly in your microwave and put it on 10 minutes and just hit start and videotaped it, it would be the same exact special effect as the portal of this movie.
I hate the thought of that. That sounds terrible. And this was I'm sorry, I forget, 2019?
2019, very recent. The CGI should be good.
Better than
it's
that,
not.
you'd think, right?
It's very very low budget. It's very much like what I would expect a college kid in his basement to be able to crank out these days with fucking Logic Pro or whatever. So at first, this jelly portal experiment appears to be a success, and the scientists start congratulating themselves. But the dude who is going through the portal starts growing some monster werewolf fingers, oozing black jelly out of his eyes, and offers a blood-curdling scream. And we cut to the title card of the movie. Doom, Annihilation. Dun dun dun.
That sounds terrible.
This movie's so cool,
No.
Larry.
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. So a sexy lady gets unfrozen from cryogenic sleep in a spaceship, while a robot voice greets her and advises her to drink lots of water after her 4-month slumber. We get some sick rock and roll riffs as the captain of the ship meanders around, not talking to anyone in particular, but doing a voiceover about how he went through all of their stuff while they were sleeping, which includes sniffing some of the ladies' panties.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds accurate.
So,
sure.
yeah, I get, it's the creepy captain, and, he's been alone for 4 months piloting the ship while everyone else is in cryogenic sleep, but also, do we really need a panty-sniffing captain in 2019?
Is he,
come on.
Is he the villain? Does that set him up as the villain? No, that sounds
No.
like the villain.
No. I would like to see who you think the villain is.
It can't
'Cause
be
there's
good.
a
It's
villain.
not like the devil. Now, we talked briefly about what we know about the Doom franchise, and it's basically nothing. Well, you're an expert now. I know that it's just Mars and demons and portals to hell. That's literally the 3 things I know. So I assume the villain is the devil.
Okay, so we do have an ultimate villain who is, I guess, the devil, or at least the chief demon.
Yeah, with a cool name from Dante's Inferno, like they all do. Fucking
No,
Scarmiglione or something.
His name's Charlie. So okay, we do have a villain. One of the characters you will be introduced to is the villain.
Okay.
I mean, the devil's the ultimate villain, and he wants to wipe humanity off.
So you're looking for the antagonist,
but there's a
not
human
necessarily
being.
the villain. Okay, all right. I'll keep an ear out for what sounds villainy. Fuck.
So we have about a dozen randomly, recently unfrozen people who are hanging around bantering. They're all part of a Marine, not battalion. Battalion's big,
platoon
group. Platoon. I think platoon's too big. Boy Scout brigade, maybe.
Squad.
I'm
running out of military
on point.
Fuck.
They're Marines, but they're also shitty Marines who are going to Phobos, which look, Phobos doesn't have the gravity to sustain a long-term space base. It's 16 by 12 miles wide. It's so small. It's like, if you were the size of the moon, one of your pubes would be the size of Phobos.
Oh, wow. All right. That actually is a good enough analogy that I get how small it is. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Do you think you could build a space outpost on one of your pubes?
No.
See? And trust me, I know, probably more than anyone else, that you have a nice thicket down there.
First of all of those statements are incorrect. You don't know because you've never seen my penis. It's an established fact on this show. And it's also incorrect.
Did you shave your genitals when we lived together?
Why do you want me to answer that, Isaac?
I don't know, but I never found a bunch of genital hair, just in my coffee one morning. So you were obviously discreet.
I don't know why, because my brain is stupid, but I just imagine that when you clean yourself up, you just pull a ripcord like Buzz or Woody from fucking Toy Story, and the hair just floofs out off your body like a dandelion. It just scatters in the
No, I mean, I always shave myself. I shave myself over the coffee
there's your
maker
problem.
every morning. Wait, what? All right. Jesus Christ.
This is so dumb. fuck?
So, our sexy lady hero, like, meanders into the kitchen where all of the Marines are hanging out, and they all get up because they don't like her. They're cranky at her for some reason, and we don't know why. She banters with the nerd scientist. So there's a bunch of Marines, there's one nerd scientist on board. Turns out they dated 10 years ago, the sexy lady lieutenant and the nerd scientist. She's all military or some crap, and they banter,
Okay.
whatever. We see that the mutant from the... What?
This is.
Oh, okay.
You can't read your own writing.
This movie's a fucking train wreck. The mutant from the portal earlier. So, like, he went through the portal and got all fucked up,
sure.
right? And the British scientist was watching over. So he's writhing around in a holding cell. The British scientist is on video with another scientist. The British scientist is on Phobos. This is... I hate everything. I can't... The British scientist is on Phobos. The other scientist he's talking to is on Earth. So the other scientist is worried about the continued tests on the portal because of the mutant situation. The old British scientist tells him to fuck off because the science is too important, and don't worry anyway because he himself is going to be the next one who goes through the portal. So they're not subjecting anyone to unwarranted tests. He's going through himself. All of our recently thawed dudes and dudettes are contracted security Marines to protect the government lab on the Mars moon of Phobos, which, again, I've discussed the gravity situation of that moon, and it does not make sense. So apparently our sexy lady lieutenant hero got in some trouble somehow. We don't really get a whole lot of details, and now the whole group has been sent on this job to the moon of Phobos to be security Marine personnel as punishment for her fuck up. So everyone's pissed at her.
So they're all there because of her?
Yes. She fucked something up, and she got punished, which means her whole platoon, troop, brigade, something, Boy Scout battalion got sent to Mars, the moon of Phobos, which again doesn't have the gravity to support a space base, but whatever.
Easy, Tiger.
So they're all mad at her.
Okay.
I'm one page in. I'm losing it.
That's good.
I'm losing it already. This is the most nothing movie. Like, there's nothing about this movie that I should be upset about, but trying to describe it, I'm getting really hot already. I'm
perfect.
I'm boiling.
Perfect. Those are the best kinds because
God damn it.
A lot of times I will start before we start recording, and I will say to you, I've said many times, this is going to be either the shortest or the worst episode ever.
Yep.
And oftentimes when I'm actually talking about it, I end up furious.
No, I predicted ahead of time this would be one of my shortest. I thought it would be less than an hour. We're 20 minutes in. I'm on page 1 of 4. So fuck.
Perfect.
All right. God damn it. So British scientist prepares to travel through the jelly portal
to the jelly dimension. Bring your avocado toast.
Fuck you, beard. As soon as he steps in, the lights flicker and there's a bunch of sparks and everyone falls down.
Hang on, one more second. I'm sorry, I have so many questions. Where does the jelly portal go? Do we know yet? Or is it just something they're fucking throwing stuff in?
Hell.
Okay.
Okay, so
my first question. Let me back up even.
Ostensibly, the scientists understand there's a jelly portal on Phobos, the moon of Mars, which again does not have the gravity to support a space base, but whatever. And there's a jelly portal on Earth, and you can transport like immediately, like Star Trek, just like bing, bang, boom.
Yes.
But secretly, it's a portal to hell because it's Doom, and we all knew that.
Right?
Before
You're signing up for that, sure.
So, but yeah, the old British scientist man is stepping into the jelly portal on Phobos to go to the portal on Earth. That's
okay. All right,
his plan.
I see.
But shit goes awry. Everything starts sparking and getting all fucked up, and we see a nurse. And she has a moment with the British doctor earlier where like he's getting ready and she's like checking his blood pressure or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be nervous. I'm the one going through the jelly portal." oh. He's like, "I'm not nervous for me, doctor. I'm nervous for you." Oh. And yeah, so. But yeah, everything goes to shit once he goes in the jelly portal. Everything blows up, and the danger. She literally runs to the wall and grabs a health pack off the wall.
Like a video game.
It says health pack. There's like it's white with a red cross, and it says health on it. It's so video gamey. It's the worst.
But Isaac,
I can't.
That's how it's just like the video game.
But she grabs the health pack, and as soon as she picks it up off the wall, behind her, we hear a cranky monster scream, like, and she turns around and screams,
Your talents are wasted by not being a Foley artist. Fuck.
So our security peeps are preparing to land on the moon of Phobos while this is all going on, and we see them going through their luggage, and it's dumb shit where they're all looking at like pictures of their loved ones and fucking stupid shit. So the leader, the captain, is an old white dude, and he's recording a message to his loved ones who he's going to send off to them. He says he never should have agreed to this mission, and as soon as his men are set up, he's going to retire and come home. He loves her, his wife presumably, and their daughters so much, and he can't wait to come home, so of course he's going to die.
Might as well just say he's got 1 day left to fucking retirement.
It's seriously, It's not any better than that. So our ragtag security crew of Marines arrives on Phobos. They land. The captain tries to connect with the people at the base. And remember, this is the captain who's been sniffing all of their panties and like drinking out of a flask the entire 4-month trip. But apparently the base has gone offline. Oh no. Possibly due to extra dimensional space monsters.
I thought you were going to say due to lack of gravity, and I was going to get up and leave.
There's only so much I can yell about the lack of gravity on Phobos. Like I think we're done. I think I front loaded that one because I just can't. I can't. I mean, Deimos is a smaller moon and it has even less gravity. They don't bring it up in this movie, but I'm sure they planned it in the sequel.
The sequel to the sequel, I'm sure. The exciting third installment into the trilogy.
You fucking cow. Wait to the end of this movie.
I'm gonna choke.
I'm gonna murder you. I'm going to drive to Pennsylvania and kill you in your sleep tonight because there is going to be another sequel to this.
Wait to make you watch that. Oh, man.
Delightful. Jesus. Oh, God. So the base has gone offline. The ship has so the ship like lands and they like try to like, oh hey, radio Phobos, the command center, like let's connect and whatever. And it's like, oh, there's no one online. Oh. And then the lights flicker on the spaceship and they're all like, oh, that was weird. And then it's like obvious that, oh, the fucking virus infected the spaceship. The spaceship's an evil demon now. I can't with this movie.
It sounds so stupid.
It is stupid. Our ragtag heroes get orders from Earth to get into the base and bring it back online. They enter the base, and the scientist guy, who's the ex-boyfriend of Lady Lieutenant Sexy Lady, right?
Yep. Yeah.
We established that?
No, not that he was an ex-boyfriend. If you did, I didn't retain that info.
No, they 10 years ago they dated for, according to her, 4 weeks. According to him, 4 months.
So not an amount of time that matters.
4 months is a decent relationship.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But it's the trash. It's trash. It's trash. Guess what? She kills him. He turns into a monster and she kills him.
And I'm sure it's a deeply emotional moment. Good. It shouldn't be.
No, it's not. It's not. It's... Fuck. I hate...
I swear to God, it's every time you think it's going to be nothing. It's what makes us the angriest.
Seriously. Like, because it's really easy to type out what's happening in the movie, but actually describing it to another human person, there's just a disconnect because of the poison passing back and forth between our minds.
Last week, imagine you're doing this movie And imagine that half the characters are puppets, and that was me last week. All right? I know your pain. We're in this boat together.
Larry. I hope you think that the Happy Time Murders was as bad as it can get.
No.
Because next week, you, sir, are going to die.
You mentioned this before the episode, and I'm terrified. Just keep talking about Doom and let me live in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Stay tuned to the end of the episode when I reveal Larry's movie for next week. He is not going to survive. Clearly not.
This is bad.
Okay. So our ragtag heroes get orders from Earth to go to the base to bring it back online. They enter, and the boyfriend scientist, who's the ex-boyfriend of the lieutenant lady, he starts, poking some buttons or whatever, and realizes that the fusion reactor is going to blow in 90 minutes because the reserve power is going to dip below a certain threshold. Okay, so fusion reactions. It's a nuclear reaction.
Okay, yes.
It's not a volatile reaction like you normally would think about, like a fission reaction. Like all nuclear power plants on Earth are fission reactions. So that's where it has like plutonium and uranium and like dangerous stuff that can cause cancer and cause like radiation clouds that go out if it explodes.
Sure. You're getting real sciencey on me here.
The ideal fusion power plant is turning 2 hydrogen atoms into 1 helium atom. So there's absolutely no radioactive atoms at all. It's a complete opposite, because fission is destroying atoms. Fusion is creating atoms. And fusion is absolutely not dangerous. The reason fusion is so complicated is because it's unbelievably hot. That's what the sun is. The sun is a fusion reaction. It's turning hydrogen into helium.
Okay.
And that's what powers the sun and powers our life on Earth. And it's not radioactive in the traditional sense like the Hiroshima or Nagasaki bomb. And there's also not, with fusion, there's not a chain reaction. Like if the power turns off, fusion just goes out. It's not a big deal. It just turns off. But with a fission reaction, like the Fukushima power plant in Japan, where the tidal wave fucked everything up, like there's all this radioactive, because there's uranium and plutonium getting spewed out all over the place. And that's what's dangerous. So just the whole, again, like I'm getting nerdy, I know, but I'm passionate about nuclear energy. It's not as dangerous as people think it is. And this movie, fusion wouldn't work like this.
You're upset because this is giving fusion reaction a bad name. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, because if we can harness fusion power, we would by leaps and bounds exceed what we're capable of as a species.
All right.
And this movie is arguing in bad faith of fusion reactions.
Okay, here's the problem. I'm pretty sure that every movie and piece of media has gotten that wrong since the dawn of time. And
there's a reason I'm really angry about Spider-Man 2 by Sam Raimi.
I hate those movies, and I don't think they're as bad as I remember, but God, do I hate them. I never even saw the third one.
The first one was fine.
The first one has Willem Dafoe, who can fucking make anything seem insane. So God bless that. But everything else about those movies is awful.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Fuck.
Okay, God, okay. I gotta get off my science high horse. Sorry.
Yeah, you have to go back in so many movies. It's just a scary sounding science word that sounds like things are going to explode.
I know, but... So there's a comical amount of tactical sweeping down hallways with guns drawn and flashlights going around corners, like 5 minutes, of just like going down corners of hallways and like turning the lights around and like, oh God, is there gonna be something?
And then
nope, nothing. 5 minutes later, still nothing. It's just video game bullshit.
Fuck.
Finally, and we're like 30 minutes into the movie now, finally they find a decapitated body with a message written on the wall in blood in ancient Sumerian. They ask Siri to translate the message. Siri is the, whatever, like the onboard, they call it Daisy.
I wonder why.
Fucking lawsuits, Steve Jobs.
No, I'm assuming that's a reference to HAL. Daisy, give me your answer, dude. Yeah, fucking, what's that? 2001, I want to say. That's my guess.
Right. Probably, yeah. So yeah, she translates the message, and it's some creepy bullshit about vengeance and comeuppance and the human species is gonna die or whatever. So the pilot, who's still chilling on the spaceship, goes to take a sip from his flask, but unfortunately it's empty.
Oh, no.
We see briefly the computer screen doing something nefarious, but he doesn't notice. Turns out the computer is messing with the soldiers' navigation system in their helmets. We get a few more minutes of tactical hallway sweeping. And then finally a blue scientist monster jumps on one of the soldiers and rips his throat out. So this is our first, villain, 35 minutes into the movie. And then it's just full-on Monster Central. For the rest
Speaking of villain, I have no earthly fucking idea, unless it's the only character you've talked about besides this. It's one of two characters at this point, or it's a random soldier. So I guess I'm gonna say main sexy lady. I'm sure you've given her 12 names, and I've forgotten all of them.
Lieutenant
sexy lady girlfriend. I'm gonna say is the antagonist.
Yeah. Okay. Good guess. I also did not take much effort to name characters in this because so many of them are disposable.
Yeah.
Or their only identifying thing is race, which I didn't really necessarily want to be like, oh, the black lady. I mean, there's one guy who's the black guy who is the black guy.
I'm guessing he dies.
So we'll see. Surprise! They get rid of the minorities.
Oh, you
fast.
don't say. What I almost said gender. What ethnicity are our main characters? Air quotes.
Sexy lady scientist is a lady. The man scientist is a man.
Ethnicity.
Oh, ethnicity.
White. Okay,
white.
I really expected Inuit or something.
So the one nurse who sticks around for a little while is quarter black, like Beyonce black. Technically she's black, but yeah, no, the movie's racist. The movie's just racist. It's just racist. Okay. So yeah, it's just a monster fucking central throughout now. So the main group, roughly about 8 of them, so 8 of the Marines, finds 3 humans who aren't monsters. There's the nurse, who's the one who's quarter black and an attractive young lady. There's the chaplain. I didn't realize he was a chaplain until the end of the movie when the cross around his neck was relevant. And then there's some other dude, and the other dude immediately gets his throat ripped out.
Okay. Fuck it then.
So the scientist who came in with the Marines huddles with the 2 remaining humans. So it's the chaplain, the ex-boyfriend scientist, and the nurse, who's quarter black. I'm not racist. This movie's racist. I promise.
Yeah, sure.
The Marines shoot a whole bunch of monsters. It takes several minutes. So Sexy Lady and the guy who doesn't like her have split off from the main group for whatever reasons. Dramatic bullshit. They shoot a couple of monsters, but he says, fuck this, I'm too young to die, and he disappears. Sexy Lady runs out of ammo, but grabs a chainsaw off the wall and hacks a few more monsters to death with the chainsaw.
I don't know if that's necessarily a Doom thing. I don't remember, because I did not play much of Doom.
It's just a trash video game thing that there's just a chainsaw on the wall, full of gas, ready to go, ready to rip up alien zombies.
Gears of War thing, but I guess that's also a Doom thing. I don't know.
All right, so now we get Black Marine, who somehow has ended up all on his lonesome. I wonder what's
I don't know why
happen.
This is becoming my catchphrase, but you don't say.
Boy, howdy.
And there's the other one. God damn it.
So he kills a couple of monsters, and we're like, oh shit, is the black guy gonna live? Is the black guy gonna... No. He gets his throat
Silly
eaten.
question. How gratuitous is the
just
gore?
Ripped out. It's somewhat off screen. When you get splatters of blood and you get to see some gore, but it's not full on over the top. So it's middling. It's definitely I would not show this to a 10-year-old.
All right.
But it's also it was cartoonish enough that it didn't make me uncomfortable. Like Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah, I can't watch that movie. I just can't. I can't do
that
it.
movie's
It's
horrifying.
too much for me.
That's too realistic. This was cartoonish enough that I was like, no,
right.
This is fine. Oh god. So as soon as black guy gets his throat ripped out, there's also an Asian lady, and she just immediately is dead too. She gets some claws to her side, and her face gets all slashed up. So now all the minorities are taken care of. Bing, bang, boom. All
My
done. We're good to
instinct
go.
was as a joke to say, "Oh, thank God," but I mean, I just can't do that and continue to be on the internet.
Yep. You can't make fun of it when it's that ridiculous.
No. Great.
So one of the dudes of the Marines gets slashed. Oh no! So it's the chaplain. Sorry, this movie was so confusing. The chaplain has gotten slashed across the stomach by one of the monsters, but he's more or less okay. So, like, it seems like the kind of thing they're setting up, like he's going to turn into a monster later,
that would be the
right?
assumption there in a monster-type movie.
You would fucking think that, wouldn't you?
I would be wrong, wouldn't I?
Apparently. So the captain fights off a bunch of monsters, but he runs out of ammo and starts getting overwhelmed. He uses his very last bullet to shoot out the airlock button, which causes the door to slam down and prevent the rest of the Marines and the people they're trying to save from saving him from the monsters. So our sexy lady ex-girlfriend Marine, like, is pounding on the window like, "No, Captain, no, I want to save you, but I can't. Oh, no."
Is her acting as hammy as that, or worse?
It's better than that.
Not by much, I bet.
But not by much. No. So what seems to be all of our remaining Marines and scientists and whatever end up in a relatively safe section of hallway. They find the British scientist from earlier in the film, who appears to not be harmed.
Villain? Antagonist?
The British scientist...
Wait, that seems too easy. You give me that look.
The British scientist explains how they found the mysterious jelly portals. And it's... they found it on Mars, and it's thousands of years old, and they can travel, and it's this great scientific thing. I don't know. He goes... I hate it. I hate it. It's trash. It's trash. So the chaplain, who's got the boo-boo on his tummy and he's going to turn into a zombie, one would imagine, he says, "Well, no, I saw a fire demon from hell come out of the jelly portal and try to eat my soul." And the British scientist is like, "What? I don't remember that. We're fine. It's all good. It's just a transportation thing." So our remaining dudes and dudettes get back onto the spaceship. They kind of meander around, have conversations. One of the Marines goes and grabs a cup of coffee, like, despite the fact that there's horrible monsters eating them from every nook and cranny.
You've been talking about monsters for the last 30 minutes, and he stopped to get a fucking coffee? Listen, coffee is one of the few joys in my life, but if there's monsters, it's going down the priority list.
I feel like if you were about to die, you would get a cup of coffee out of habit.
Probably, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So, sexy lady lieutenant ex-girlfriend, and now she's kind of in charge because the captain's dead, and she's the lieutenant, even though everyone hates
she's
her.
The reason they're all here.
She's the reason they're on this stupid... It's confusing. So, she's kind of in charge. She asked the onboard flight computer, Siri, Daisy, whatever, where's the pilot? And the computer says, "Oh, he's on the flight deck." Sexy lady goes to the flight deck and finds his body on the flight deck, and he's been slashed up by a horrible monster. She asks the computer, "Oh, computer, what happened?"
What do you think? You fucking walked into a biplane propeller? Idiot!
The computer says, "The same thing that will happen to you, inevitably." Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, the computer's been infected by hell.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, you fucking talked about science, so let me talk about theology. Pretty sure the devil doesn't have a fucking IT crew. Pretty sure that's not... I don't think anywhere in the Bible it says the devil doth fucking go on Firefox and... infect your files with a Trojan. I think he has better things to do than have a computer taunt some sexy lady scientist. Soldier, whatever.
Well, it's not just the computer. It's just it's part of the whole, because as soon as the computer says that, a demon sneaks up behind her, and it's not like a blue human who got turned into a zombie. It's like a full on demon.
let me paint the scene for you. Let me do a little bit of let me get behind the filmmaker's camera. So the demon, they're on a ship, or they're like where? Okay, they're on the
They're on the spaceship on the landing platform of Phobos, which doesn't have enough gravity to support any of this, but regardless.
And the demon is in there, in the closet, like, shh, hang on, here they come, shh, hang on.
Seriously,
the computer's gonna say, the devil gave me the soul of fucking Stephen Hawking because Stephen Hawking's in hell, I'm sure, to fucking say some real dope shit, and then I'm gonna come right out from behind. Everybody,
exactly.
Nobody blow up my spot. I'm gonna really scare this bitch.
No, seriously, there's several demons on the spacecraft that have just been hiding, biding their time until the poetic justice of the moment was fit. It's the stupidest fucking thing.
They are Dante Inferno demons. They love their irony.
The Marines are just hanging out, drinking coffee, having conversations like, oh boy, that was sure a lot of monsters. I'm glad there aren't any on this spaceship.
Monsters he's fucking tee-heeing in the closet next to the coffee machine. I can't wait to kill this guy and eat him. I'm gonna get such a good bonus from Satan on my fucking quarterly report.
So the demon sneaks up behind her. She fires at it, but it doesn't really seem to mind.
Hold on a second. Just the big demon claws typing on a fucking keyboard, like 8-inch long smog nails, fucking typing out dope shit on a computer. Those kind of details drive me nuts.
So it like kind of absorbs the bullets, and then it conjures a fireball. It's like one of
that's from the video games,
like Dragon Ball Z. Like it just shoots the fireball out of its chest.
Yeah, they're doing that because of the games. I'll give them that one. I'm sure it's stupid. No doubt about that.
And like she dives out of the way, and it kind of explodes, and then the demon just fucks off, and she like gets up, and it's gone.
Another closet.
So whatever. Seriously, yeah. There's a couple more demons throughout the ship who've been hiding in the closet. They eviscerate some more Marines. The guy with the tummy boo-boo, who's the chaplain, gets knocked over and is unconscious, maybe dead, we don't really know. A sexy lady gets accosted by the demon again and knocks her down and starts sucking her soul out of her mouth. And it is straight up, Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter, Dementor, sucking a ball of light out of her mouth.
Oh man, that's how souls work in fucking Supernatural.
It's so derivative of fucking Harry Potter. It's seriously just the Dementor sucking the soul out of the mouth. I can't.
That's the dumbest. Again, I have not played Doom really beyond like an hour or two in my total life. Pretty sure they just want to kill for the sake of killing, not stealing souls. I don't know. Why are they why do they make this movie?
The soul stealing is not explained. Because also later on, like, the main goal is just to exterminate the human race, not steal souls.
I mean, they haven't been stealing souls this whole time. If they wanted to do that, what does that kill her? Is it nourishment? You gotta explain this demon shit.
They don't explain it. Harry Potter explains it decently well.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't. So she's getting her soul sucked out of her fucking whore mouth. I shouldn't have said that. She's a lovely lady. She's... God, I don't even know. She's probably in Tijuana spending the millions I've earned on Bitcoin. So the chaplain has woken up from getting bonked on the head.
This is going to be awful.
And he's grabbed a machine gun.
So wait, slow the fuck down. They bonked him on the head and just fucked off?
Yeah.
Why did they suck out his soul?
I don't know.
He's right there.
Larry, stop asking questions.
He's already got a tummy boo-boo.
I know, he's going to turn into a monster, right? He's gonna have to. Why would he have a tummy boo-boo set up 30 minutes ago?
This is the dumbest.
If it didn't come to anything.
Fucking dumbest.
So he has a machine gun. He starts shooting the demon with a machine gun. The demon whacks the chaplain in the chest with a fireball.
Okay.
But that distraction gives just enough time for Sexy Lady to get back up with her handgun and shoot the demon dead.
Okay.
The Sexy Lady lieutenant runs over to the chaplain who...
I have another problem.
Okay.
Is this the same type of demon that absorbed her bullets and was fine?
Yeah. They have a threshold of bullets. Once they take 20 bullets, they immediately die.
So it is like a video game. That's how video games work.
Yeah, exactly. But 19 bullets, they are not phased.
They really just shouldn't make movies out of video games, which is an interesting thought.
No.
For your next movie.
Fuck you and your tiny wiener.
Yes, it is.
Damn it.
Continue.
So the chaplain gurgles up some blood and just dies.
So, he just fucking dies?
Yeah, he just dies. Yeah.
Pointless.
He has his wound is of no relevance.
Pointless.
He doesn't turn into a zombie or a monster.
Pointless.
Yeah, he's got there's some religious thing, he mutters some religious bullshit to Lady whatever, which I didn't get into because I couldn't handle it. It was too much. But it's pointless, utterly pointless.
Great.
So our remaining dudes and dudettes regroup. There's not a whole lot of dudes left. Since the reactor is going to blow, if the reserve power reaches 0, they decide they have to turn the reactor back on. Scientist ex-boyfriend does some science shit. Okay, so we have scientist ex-boyfriend. We have the nurse.
Yeah.
The young, pretty lady nurse who's a quarter black.
Cool.
We have the British doctor guy, professor, whatever, scientist. Then there's a lesbian marine and a meathead marine and our sexy lady lieutenant marine. Okay. That's all that's left. Everyone else is dead. I don't know if I can... I don't know. I don't know if I can do this, Larry. The scientist ex-boyfriend does some science shit and turns the reactor back on. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, the British scientist goes off on some tangent. All of a sudden angry out of nowhere, talking about how sexy Lieutenant Spy fucked up and let a terrorist go and screwed over her whole battalion, platoon, whatever, and oh yes, I read the records, and it looks like a sexy lesbian soldier here said you weren't fit to be in the Marines anymore, and you should be court-martialed for treason. And I read the records of this other man, and he said you should be hung. No, how could you live with yourself?
What?
It's nonsense.
What? This is just out of nowhere?
Pretty much.
Okay.
He just goes on this random rant where he's tearing down sexy lady lieutenant and about how she fucked up before and why everyone on her platoon hates her and why everyone there on Phobos is there because of her and everyone who's dead is dead because of her. So he's evil.
Okay.
He's the evil one.
Great.
He's the bad guy.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot setting that up.
He wasn't even in half of this movie.
No, he wasn't.
God's sake.
So he grabs a knife and stabs the nurse in the back.
Jesus. I guess gotta clear out those
whispers
minorities.
In her ear, when I went through the jelly portal, I saw everything, but now no one will know because I've murdered you with a knife to the spleen. It's stupid. It's so stupid. So he runs into the hallway and locks the door to the reactor room. So now all our heroes are in the reactor room.
Sure.
And British scientist runs off and does whatever the fuck. So some demons take out the last two Marines.
Okay.
And now all that's left is sexy lady, ex-boyfriend scientist, and black nurse who's clinging to life. Black Nurse tells them they have to travel to level 4. And there was a whole thing set up before where there was there's 3 levels to the base. There's level 1, which is where all the barracks are. There's level 2, which is where this thing happens. There's level 3, which this thing happens. Sure. And that's it. No more. So she's like, there's a level 4. Here's my security card. And she pulls it out of her pocket.
And then Cartman dies.
Yeah, no, and then Black Nurse dies.
Great.
So all that's left
why am I saying great to that? No.
scientist ex-boyfriend and lieutenant ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
So the sexy lady lieutenant ex-girlfriend grabs... I don't know how much you remember about Doom, Larry. Do you know what she grabs?
The BFG. It's got to be the BFG.
The BFG 9000.
Oh, 9000.
The big fucking gun.
Yeah.
Shoots some plasma.
Yep.
Or something.
I only know it exists, and I know it from lore, internet nerd lore.
And she gets some plasma grenades, which will factor in a moment. Sexy lady and ex-boyfriend share a moment of bonding while they're waiting for the elevator to go down to level 4 to arrive. Where they're talking about their first date and whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I remembered you, and you, oh God, I want your wiener in my vagina."
Sex with you must
and
be
then
amazing.
After,
because
yeah, we do a lot of role playing.
Why else would anyone ever fucking stay with you?
I role play as my wife while I fuck her. Oh God, Isaac, with your big wiener, please put it in my hole.
Truly must be incredible.
I'm revolted just by thinking of that. Okay. So yeah, they share this banter moment, and then like the elevator door opens, and it's this whole thing where he like demurely says like, "I'm still scared of elevators," and then the elevator door opens, and a demon grabs him, pulls him into the elevator, and the elevator closes, and like he disappears.
Oh, he's the villain.
That's so fucking dumb.
He's a villain.
No, the British guy's the villain.
Well, there can't be more than one villain.
Well, okay. I mean, he gets turned. We'll see.
Fucking, unless they don't kill him on screen, he's a villain. That's easy as that.
Oh, no, he'll get killed on screen. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
So, sexy lady turns around and fights off some bad guys with the BFG.
Sure.
And then she opens the elevator, and there's nothing in there. And she goes down and finds a hallway strewn with bloody corpses on level 4. She finds at the where the whole scientist level 4 area with the jelly portal. She finds the British scientist working at a computer near the jelly portal. He like snaps his fingers and summons a demon, and the lady shoots it with the BFG, and the British scientist is like, "Oh, someone's got a fancy new toy."
Fucking British. Man, we kicked
then
our
the
ass.
ex-boyfriend scientist shows up, and he is now half monster.
Okay.
He's like halfway turned.
So they can, they can be turned, but they didn't.
Yeah, apparently
they didn't foreshadow that in any way, including the guy who got his belly wound, his belly boo-boo.
No. Like, it was kind of foreshadowed because there was, like, the full-on demon villains, and then there were the blue scientist villains who were, like, kind of zombies.
Sure, yeah.
And they established, like, oh, they have name badges. Like, these used to be humans. Now they're monsters.
Right.
But we never saw someone in the process of turning.
Probably could afford it.
Which, like, in this movie... With the chaplain, that's what you would do.
Right.
You would have the chaplain turn.
Yeah.
And, like, have that be a moment of drama, and someone has to kill him.
Right.
Even though they've been friends with him. Like, that's dumb, but that's what you do.
Right.
God damn it. Okay, so... Sexy he's not even sexy anymore. He was kind of sexy. Anyway, so he's a zombie, and he starts attacking sexy lady. She tries to stop him without killing him, so she's like breaking his arms and trying to hold him down. The British scientist turns on the jelly portal. Sexy lady finally gives up and just pulls out her handgun and shoots her ex-boyfriend monster in the mouth and just kills him. British scientist grabs the gun off the floor and acts like he's going to shoot her, but she snags the gun from him and shoots him in the chest, and he goes down. And we think she's killed him.
He's got a monster in him.
He stands up and rips open his shirt, revealing his bullet wound healing rapidly.
Okay, so 19 more bullets and he should be dead.
He says, "You can't kill what's already dead."
Oh, it's the devil.
And then he force pushes her into the jelly portal.
Oh, my God. Just like Supernatural.
So now she's in hell.
Okay, yep. Just like we've been for the last hour.
And I don't know if you've ever arrived in hell.
Only twice.
But it starts off with you plunging into a pool of just, clear water.
Yep.
It's just a nice room temperature pool. And then you swim up to the surface, and then you start crawling across the dystopian hellscape that is hell.
Mm-hmm.
And some demons start, like, coalescing around you. And then I guess the devil, it's a big fire demon. It kind of looks like a Nazgul. Like, it's not very creative. It's a Nazgul with, like, fire in his chest.
Fuck. All right.
And he goes on a long-winded speech in, like, demonic Italian or Latin or whatever. Where it's just like it's subtitled, so you just hear him like, "Oh, sent a fucking schnocken,
mozzarella."
Yeah, it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger reading like the ingredients on his protein shake.
Christ.
But it's this whole thing, like, the human race is a scourge on existence, and we've been waiting millennia to extinguish it from existence. And
I'm sure she can understand all of that because she minored in demon and majored in being a fucking Marine.
They don't cover that, but it's kind of implied. I don't really know because this movie's stupid.
Maybe it's just Italian and you're an idiot, don't know any better. She speaks Italian.
Spaghetti de coco.
Oh, man.
So, sexy lady grabs her BFG and shoots the devil in the chest, and he explodes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's a little drama. There's like some where she's like, she gets on her hands and knees, and all the demons are like cluttering around her, and she's like, "Oh no, I can't." Oh wait, I have the BFG. All right, I can shoot the devil. But
so
bang!
The devil just lets her. She's in hell.
Yeah,
and nobody thinks to take her fucking big fucking gun.
No, they don't. They don't.
I'm very upset.
You should be. You should be, Larry.
God.
So she's exploded the devil.
I hope that's not the last time we ever say that in Battle of Netflix. I really hope that happens again at some point.
The throng of demon minions are still chasing her, and she leaps across the Grand Canyon to get away from them. But they're still coming after her, but she like pulls like grenades off her back, like the grenade belt, and like flings the grenades, and they explode the demons, and then it propels her into whatever the jelly portal, I guess, back to Earth. I don't know how this works.
In my head, it just opens up into like an alley in San Francisco.
No, that would be so much better.
God.
So she blows up all the demons. She gets shot through the jelly portal. She ends up on Earth in the science lab in like Area 51.
Sure.
And there's like one of the scientists from the beginning of the movie who was like talking with British scientists, was like, "Oh, I don't know if we should go on with this procedure. It's very dangerous." And she's like, "You have to shut this down immediately. This is a hazard." And he's like, "Oh, no, this is okay." And then they inject her with like paralysis, like the whatever sleep potion.
Sleep.
And she starts like drifting off. And he's like, "No, but the devil is gonna come out of the jelly portal."
No, honey, you blew him up. Don't worry, he's gone forever.
And the very last shot is the Earth scientist looking at the jelly portal starting to jiggle and says, "This might be the British doctor arriving now." And obviously the subtext is like, oh, a bunch of demons are going to burst forth on Earth, and that's how the sequel starts.
Oh my God.
And that's the end of the movie.
That's so dumb. Man.
This was the most nothing generic schlock.
Holy crap.
Like, I haven't seen a more nothing movie where nothing had consequences, none of the characters mattered, none of the deaths moved me.
I'm not going to lie,
all.
Isaac, I genuinely forgot the entire plot except for the last 10 minutes, except for you bitching about Phobos and Fusion. That's literally all I remember. Like, from the entire plot up until the last couple of minutes of this review, I've already forgotten all of it.
They went to Phobos. Phobos.
Don't you recap it? I'm taking my headphones off.
Didn't have enough gravity, and then they went home.
And I'll fucking put my headphones back on when your mouth stops moving.
I'm done. I'll behave. I won't go through the whole movie again. But yeah, this was awful. I think in my notes I made it a 2 out of 10. I'm going down to a 1.5. Like,
oh man, that's rough.
I don't know if it's the worst movie I've seen for Bowels of Netflix.
Oh man,
but it's close because there's like almost nothing redeeming about it.
Right.
Yeah, because just the entire movie is just no meaningful consequences and no characters that you care about.
It really,
for half a second.
It was really hard to follow because there was nothing. There truly was nothing to care about.
Yeah, there's no characters where you get latched on, and like even Christmas with the Prince, which we did a couple weeks ago. But like you sort of, there's a story to cling to,
right?
And it's stupid and it's awful,
right?
But it progresses.
Yeah, it gives you something.
And it follows a path,
right?
But yeah, this just doesn't. And even like when it should fall into the tropes of like, oh, the guy who had the wound should turn into a monster, and then we'll have a whole conflict thing. Like none of that pans out. It's just trash the whole way through.
Right. Now, my one question I had at the end was the first movie, while panned, was the people did celebrate. There was like a first person scene as if you were playing Doom, because Doom is a first person shooter. So you basically see your hands on a gun. And like I think even you acknowledged that was not terrible. I don't think you loved it.
Yeah, and
but
they
wasn't
leaned
bad.
into it, and they did like a 10-minute segment.
Yeah.
I forgot about
and
that.
They did it.
They don't do that in this.
That may have been a good idea, considering that was like that part was well received in the first movie, which was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You'd think.
No, yeah. And the closest this gets is that the like tactical sweeping of hallways. And there's some scenes where they're like shooting monsters and it's not really shot from like an HUD, like from the inside of the helmet perspective. Sure. But there's like shots that are sort of first person,
right,
but not directly so. But it's not played up in a way where it's supposed to make you feel like you're in the video game.
Right, which the first one very much was, if I recall.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was an interesting set of shots and an interesting sequence because I hadn't seen anything like it before. But yeah, this movie was not like that at all. It was just bad action movie going around corners in a hallway with a flashlight on your gun.
You think they'd have at least tried that, considering it worked? Throw that in there. I don't know. God's sake, why do they do these things? Like, how much money could it have made? Like, honestly.
I don't know, and it apparently they were trying for a long time to get this movie made, because like the game came out in 2016, and I think that since 2015, like whoever pitched the script was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get this made," and it took them 5 years to fucking make it, and it was still a train wreck.
Yeah, and with nobodies and a shit plot.
Yeah,
and
again, at least, and with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in 2005, his star capital was decent, but he's still definitely a B-list celebrity, if not C-list.
Which means nothing.
Right, yeah.
Until you transfer over into acting like he has done and Cena has done, it's nothing.
But at that point, he had been in some movies, and he had enough capital. Like, I knew who he was, even though I was not a wrestling fan at the time.
Right.
So if, like, you told me, oh, there's a movie The Rock is in, it's like, that's the reason I might want to see it.
Exactly.
But there's no one in this movie. It's not even fucking... what's his name? The Irish dwarf.
Hornswoggle.
Like if Hornswoggle was the star of this movie.
Hornswoggle is the star of one of the Leprechaun remakes. Not a joke.
Oh god, that's terrifying. So yeah, 1.5.
Wow.
Out of 10. This is
a good one.
This is bad.
A good one.
Almost as bad as it gets.
I hope there's a third one I can give you.
There better not be, because I don't know if I'll do it. Now here's my solace, because I've been stewing for a few days over this movie. I think I have found the movie that you will hate more than any other movie you've ever seen in your life.
Well, all right. You've been very hot and heavy about this. Do you want me to give you yours first, and then you can finish with that, or do you want to give it to me now?
Yeah,
you just suffered.
I'll take it. You can give me because put it in my mouth.
I'm excited about mine too. I've been waiting to pull the trigger on this for a while, but you have been like a kid at Christmas since we got on recording today, and I'm very terrified.
There's no way I lose this round. There's no way your movie you're giving me is worse than the movie I'm giving you.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the case
I will
already.
suck all the dicks.
So what you're going to be watching 2 weeks from now, and this is something we foreshadowed a long time ago. And in episode time, maybe not, but in real time, a long time ago now. Because, well, first of all, this goes back to my childhood. Something from my childhood that I saw in theaters. Was remade in the last couple of years. And it looks rough. And I didn't realize it was a remake until about a week or two ago when I was looking for stuff to add to the queue. Because I've got a very long queue of things to give you. But, like a long time ago now, there was one night where I couldn't sleep. And at 3 a.m., I thought, I'm going to record something for Bowles. What I did was I recorded myself talking about all the first 150 Pokemon.
Oh, no.
And I'm about to make good on that promise.
No, is it a Pokemon movie?
Isaac, you're going to be watching...
No. No.
Pokemon, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Which is a remake of Pokemon, the first movie, which I'm not joking is what it was called.
I saw that in theaters.
So did I.
It was my fucking stupid, like, 4th grade friend, Mike Rico, who beat me out in the fucking Halloween contest.
Beat you out, yes.
I was a scuba clown. I had scuba gear
on.
and flippers on.
You were a scuba clown.
I know. It was the best costume, and he beat me because he had a stupid little bike he could ride around because his parents could afford a $200 prop bike. Meanwhile, I went to Goodwill and bought flippers and a scuba mask, and I was a scuba clown, and I didn't win. And I went to his fucking birthday, that piece of shit, and I watched the fucking Pokemon movie, even though I hated the Pokemans, and it was trash.
He's dead now.
And now I have to watch it again?
You have to watch it again in stunning CGI!
It looks awful!
It sure does.
No! Oh, no. After escaping an invitation from a mysterious trainer...
That's probably accepting, you idiot. We're not reading the same thing, but I know the movie and I'm positive it says accepting, you fucking dunce.
After escaping an invitation from a mysterious trainer, Ash, Misty, and Brock meet Mewtwo, an artificially created Pokemon who wants to do battle.
So, Isaac, I know you're not a huge fan of Pokemon.
I know very little about Pokemon.
Well, here's the nice thing. So when I first created the episode, which I think is just called Larry Reynolds about Pokemon at 3 a.m., which is what happened. And what I did is ramble about Pokemon at 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep because my life is hell. So at the time, there was about 25 goddamn Pokemon movies on there, and I assumed I'd just give you a random one that looked bad. But they've cut it down a little bit, so you can actually use that episode because the majority of what's going to be in this movie is stuff that I talked about. So if you need a little refresher, you got it. There you go. All for you, buddy.
Thanks, Larry.
This has been...
I can't wait to have Pokemon in my life.
I can't wait to hear you talk about Pokemon and not have a fucking clue.
Because I remember in 2014, you gave me your old, like, Pokemon game, like, old Game Boy game, and I played it, like, on a Game Boy SP or whatever. Yep. And it was the first time I had done anything related to Pokemon, and I got into it for about a week. Yep. And I was really into it, and I just stopped giving a fuck. And that 1 week is the only time in the last 30 years that I've cared about Pokemon. And in 6 years since then, I have not wanted to go back.
Well, I got bad news. You and fucking Mike Rico are going to relive your experience.
That fucking clown on his fucking expensive bike. I should have won. It was like a $50 gift card.
Wow. To what?
I know.
Spencer's?
Scoop, whatever. I don't know. Fucking the track. Could have bet it all on Shiny Pony.
Sounds like my childhood.
On the 3rd. All right, Larry.
Yeah, here we go. That's 2 weeks from now. Next week, I guess I have something that... here we go. Santa Maria.
saw this movie, not in theaters. I probably rented it on VHS.
Okay.
Probably stole quarters from my mom's laundry fund and went to the VHS rental place across the street and rented this, and I loved it. At the time.
Isaac, I love you dearly and truly, as much as we talk about hating the show. You have terrible taste.
I do. I will admit that.
So do I, but
and a lot of times I will defend my terrible taste. Like Orgasmo, where I can acknowledge, I know this is not a 9 out of 10 movie.
Sure ain't.
But I still think it's wonderful. When I was 10, I loved this movie. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I watched the first 10 minutes of it, and I don't think I've seen a worse movie than this. It came in a VHS box. It came in an orange cassette. It's from Nickelodeon Productions. It's called Good Burger.
Oh, no. Is it? Oh, God, it's finally time, huh? At long last. I have been hearing about this movie since I was but a wee lad.
Yep.
And I know people love it, and I've heard professional critics say that it's the worst.
I loved it as a kid. I watched 10 minutes, and I couldn't believe how bad it was. It didn't even, like, Orgasmo, will tickle my, 13-year-old boy. I don't even know if I'll ever finish that sentence.
Sorry, I just fucking had a flashback there.
This is the worst. This is if you don't think this is the worst movie you've ever seen, I'm gonna commit you somewhere.
I wouldn't worry. So I loved cartoons as a kid and kind of as an adult, but I never liked the Nickelodeon live action stuff. And I know why. It's because it's all terrible and children have the worst taste, and cartoons are just always better.
All that was okay. The sketch comedy show.
Wrong.
Keenan and Kel was kind of okay.
Wrong. False.
But as a movie, Good Burger is the worst.
Working at a neighborhood fast food joint, 2 teens try to save the restaurant when a giant burger franchise fires up the competition. Starring Kenan Thompson, who's still in the zeitgeist, I believe.
Oh, he's on SNL.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I knew his face from somewhere. He was in that.
He's had a good career.
What's the sketch with the Halloween sketch everybody likes?
Oh, David S.
Pumpkins. Yeah, he's in that sketch. Yeah, Kel Mitchell, who I believe faded into obscurity immediately.
He's actually been a successful D-list celebrity.
Okay,
he's been in stuff. I don't know anything he's been in, but I looked at his Wikipedia page and he's been busy.
Okay.
So he's making a living as an actor. I've heard there's talks of a sequel as of the last couple of years.
Fuck.
So we'll see what comes of that.
This movie, I've known about it for a very long time because how could you not if you're growing up in the 90s? This is from 97. Growing up in the 90s, you heard of this movie, but I never saw it. And I wish I never had
Larry,
to.
Let me set the stage real quick just for how 90s and stupid it is.
Oh, man.
One of the opening scenes involves a rollerblading.
Okay, that's great. That's already a good sign.
Street chase that involves a baby being replaced with a basketball and going through the hoop.
It's not good, man. It's not fucking good. Ah, shit.
Have fun with that next week. Oh, okay. All right. Man, we're at an hour 20. I thought this was going to be a much shorter review.
I can't believe this is happening.
We are the Bells of Netflix. We're 2 old friends who really fucking hate each other.
Jesus Christ, I want
badly.
You to die.
I know. Pokemon, you son of a bitch. So, yeah, every week we're going to bring you a movie that one of us has found for the other one who can't stand to talk about it, and we'll go over it in every bit of detail we can manage.
Yeah, I guess 2 kids movies back to back. You can have fun with that shit, you fucking adults. If you're a kid listening to this, stop
seriously,
listening.
This is the 90s Fortnite. Fucking Pokemon and Good Burger.
I swear to God, our brains are the same fucking wavelength. I know mine was technically made like 2 years ago, but it's a remake of a 90s.
But yeah,
it's like it was like I think 2000 or 99.
It's sucking straight off the millennial teeth.
Yeah.
You can find us on the internet. We're at Facebook. We're at Twitter. We're the only Bowels of Netflix in your life. You won't confuse us with anyone else. Send us an email, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. Love to hear your thoughts. Any movie suggestions? Any other 90s fucking nonsense? Jesus God. Rate and subscribe.
It's a bad decade. I was born in it. It's a bad decade. It's a bad time. Bad time to be alive.
Yeah. Nah, 80s were worse. I was born in the 80s. Trust me. I put a toe in it and I didn't like it and I went straight into the 90s.
Fuck. Oh man. God. People are gonna be mad. People are gonna be mad at me, Isaac. People like Good Burger. People like Good Burger. People are gonna be angry with me.
No. Human beings do not like Good Burger.
Isaac,
Protozoa might like Good Burger. If there's anyone you know who likes Good Burger, they are not a human.
Isaac, a lot of people like Good Burger.
No, they don't. They either haven't seen it in 20 years, or they are literally a slug.
I'm gonna get text messages from people who listen to the show who are gonna be like, "What are you talking about? I love Good Burger." I promise you.
Give me their addresses, and I will put them out of their misery. Because they are wrong. I watched the first 10 minutes. It is the worst train wreck I've ever seen. Kel is swimming in...
Orange soda? Is it orange soda?
No, it's the milkshake machine. He's swimming in it. Swimming.
The 90s were a lawless wasteland.
Phobos doesn't have enough gravity.
Oh, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Twitter, Facebook, kill your grandmother, all that shit, whatever.
We love you.
Smell you later.